Dear students, welcome to GRM Toppers classes and classes for toppers here. Welcome to the session now. So dear friends, now I am very happy to inform you that I am going to take the chapter trigonometry from fundamentals onwards to fulfill the need of every student in all the ways for their any goal. Dear friends, I am taking this topic from the definition of angle onwards to the higher level, that even advanced level. I am taking this topic. So please, dear friends, share this video as widely as possible to reach all the sections of students and to fulfill their goals. And I will try to continue this trigonometry till the end of at least +2 level. So dear friends, I think this is one good opportunity for many aspirants wanted to learn trigonometry from basics onwards. Even from the lower classes also can learn this chapter as early as possible. In such a way, I have taken this topic from the definition onwards. Okay friends, now you can see that. Let us begin our session now. But I request everyone, please subscribe my channel and share this channel as much as possible to help the students like you, and definitely they will express their gratitude in getting benefit of this one because of sharing. Therefore, let us begin our session now. Now, dear friends, so this is the chapter trigonometry now we are discussing. Dear friends, this particular part of mathematics deals with the physical quantity called angle. So dear friends, as we know that many times we listen the word angle and we learn the things based on angles. Therefore, it is very important to know about angle and its measurement as well as its application in our daily life. Therefore, dear friends, let me define the angle as exactly as possible, which is the amount of rotation of a ray about its end. Now, dear friends, you can see this diagram here. Now, here this is the ray has been rotated in one direction, so that in the beginning the ray is called initial ray, and after rotation the ray is called terminal ray. So that amount of rotation about this end point here, O is called the end point of this ray. So this amount of rotation in one particular direction is called an angle. Okay friends, now as in figure, the ray in the beginning is called initial ray, whereas the ray after the rotation is called terminal ray. And generally angles are denoted by Greek letters like alpha, beta, gamma, theta, etc., or by a capital letter like A, B, C, etc. Generally, an angle will be denoted by either Greek letter or a capital letter. Okay, friends. So this particular amount of rotation is called an angle. But you know, for every physical quantity, there should be one unit of measurement. To learn more and more about that physical quantity and to apply other features and properties of the angle, so definitely every physical quantity must have its own unit of measurement. To speak more and more about that, therefore here for an angle also it is needed, and to define one unit of an angle, one complete rotation will be taken as the reference number, because for every physical quantity to define its unit of measurement, one particular amount will be taken as the reference. So based on that amount, we will define one unit of measurement, one unit of that particular physical quantity. And here, friends, one complete rotation of one ray, here you can see rotating this ray to get its original position is called the initial ray. So that complete rotation has been taken as one reference angle in defining the unit of angle. Whereas half of that complete rotation, just you can see here. So this is one complete rotation. One ray has been rotated to get its original position, called a complete rotation. Whereas half of that is called a straight angle. And half of that straight angle is called a right angle, like this. That is the introduction of straight and right angle. Half of a complete rotation is called a straight angle, and half of a straight angle is called a right angle. So this is one complete rotation, this is a straight angle, and this is one right angle. And then the question is to define unit of an angle. How a unit of an angle will be defined? For that, there are three different systems of measurement of angle so far. Unit of an angle is defined in three different systems. As far as angle is concerned, there are three different systems here. One is called sexagesimal system, also called British system. One more is centesimal system, also called French system. And another one is called circular system, also called radian system of measurement of an angle, dear friends. So in these three different systems, different units of measurement of angle are introduced or defined. Now let us see one by one. So coming to sexagesimal system. Of course, for everyone, one complete rotation has been taken as the reference one, as the standard one. From there, unit of measurement, unit of an angle is defined. So in this sexagesimal system, dear friends, a complete rotation is divided into 360 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 degree, denoted by 1 degree like this. Here the complete rotation has been divided into 360 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 degree, and that 1 degree is denoted like this, represented like this. Therefore, one complete rotation consists 360 parts, means 360 degrees, because one complete rotation is divided into 360 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 degree, so that a complete rotation will have 360 degrees. And then 1 degree subdivided is again divided into 60 equal parts, dear friends, and each part is said to be 1 minute, denoted by 1 dash like this. You can see this. Again 1 degree is divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 minute and denoted by 1 dash like this. Therefore, 1 degree is now equal to 60 minutes, because degree is divided into 60 equal parts and each part is said to be 1 minute. And then, dear friends, 1 minute is again divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 second, denoted by 1 double dash like this. This is called 1 minute, 1 second here. Hence, friends, 1 minute will be now equal to 60 seconds. See, one complete rotation is equal to 360 degrees, and 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds in this system. Got it, friends? So this is simply about a sexagesimal system of measurement of an angle. And then coming to another system of measurement of angle called centesimal system, which is also called the French system here. So in this system, a complete rotation is divided into 400 equal parts. In this system, a complete rotation is divided into 400 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 grade now, so that one complete rotation will be equal to now 400 grades. One complete rotation is divided into 400 equal parts, and every part is said to be 1 grade, so that a complete rotation will be equal to 400 grades. And then every grade is divided into 100 equal parts now, and each part is said to be 1 minute, denoted by same symbol, that is like this, 1 dash will be written in the same as hexadecimal system, but you can see the quantity of 1 minute in centesimal system will be definitely smaller than that in sexagesimal system. Why? Because there one complete rotation was divided into only 360 parts. Here 400 parts, means number of parts is increased, so that quantity in every part will be decreased. Quantity in every part will be reduced. Therefore, very clearly 1 grade is less than 1 degree, my dear friends, because it is 1/400th part of a complete rotation. 1 grade is 1/400th part of a complete rotation. Here complete rotation is the standard one in both the systems. So here 1/400th part is called 1 grade, whereas 1/360th part of a rotation is called 1 degree. So that obviously 1 degree will be more than one grade because their number of parts is smaller than number of parts in centesimal system. And moreover, there 1 degree is divided into only 60 parts, but here 1 grade is divided into 100 equal parts, where each part is said to be the same as sexagesimal system, called minute here. So 1 minute in centesimal system is 100th part of 1 grade, whereas 1 minute in the sexagesimal system is 1 minute in the sexagesimal system is 1/60th part of 1 degree. So definitely 1 minute in the sexagesimal system will be more than 1 minute in the centesimal system, my dear friends. Though both are denoted by same and both are written in the same manner, but the minute in sexagesimal system is more than the minute in the centesimal system. And friends, again this 1 minute in centesimal system has been divided into 100 equal parts, and each part is said to be 1 second as in sexagesimal system. But here the quantity differs from the second from sexagesimal system. Why? Because here 100th part of 1 minute, which is already smaller than 1 minute in the sexagesimal system. Therefore, 1 second in the centesimal system is smaller than 1 second in the sexagesimal system, which is here this 1 second in centesimal system is 100th part of 1 minute. Therefore, 1 minute is equal to now 100 seconds in centesimal system. Therefore, in centesimal system, 1 complete rotation is equal to 400 grades, and 1 grade is equal to 100 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 100 seconds. In this way, this centesimal system, also called French system, has been defined. And dear friends, one more system of measurement of angle is also there, called circular system or radian system. So this is somewhat different from the defined 2 systems, sexagesimal and centesimal system. Now here in this system of measurement of angle, 1 complete rotation is taken by 1 circle in this manner, because rotating 1 ray, a point on the ray will trace out 1 circle like this. So that circle has been taken as the reference here, which is nothing but 1 complete rotation only. In this system of measurement, 1 complete rotation is taken by 1 circle that is traced by 1 point on the rotating ray. So based on this circle, 1 unit of angle has been defined here. That is the angle forming an arc of length equal to the radius of the circle. So while rotating 1 ray, you will have different lengths of arc. No, this arc will be increasing. So whatever the amount of rotation will form an arc of length equal to the radius, my dear friends. Radius of this one, radius of the circle, nothing but length of OP from the end point of ray. So when OP equal to R, the angle made by this ray forming an arc of length equal to R. So this particular amount of rotation, nothing but angle, is said to be 1 radian, my dear friends. This is 1 radian. While rotating this, see that length of the arc is equal to radius of this circle traced by the point P. Now this particular angle is said to be 1 radian, my dear friends. Be clear about that. And now 1 radian is denoted by either 1 power c, or you can write 1 rad. 1 radian. You can write 1 RAD like this, or you can just write 1 power C like this. Okay, sometimes even just writing angle 1 also without any symbol of unit. So that angle can be taken as radians, my dear friends, without any notation of unit. So the angle will be taken in radians, my dear friends. Just angle 1 means it is 1 radian. Therefore, one complete rotation now will be equal to 2 pi radians. Why? Because when length of arc R subtends an angle 1 radian at the center, what will be the total perimeter? That means total length of the arc 2 pi r. When r subtends 1 radian, when r reflects 1 radian, 2 pi r reflects 2 pi radians. In that way, one complete rotation will be equal to now 2 pi radians. Therefore, my dear friends, one complete rotation of a ray in circular system is equal to 2 pi radians. Just you can write either 2 pi RAD, or even just writing 2 pi also equal to 2 pi means 2 pi radians only. Therefore, now 360 degrees will be equal to 400 grades will be equal to 2 pi radians, which are all representing one complete rotation only. 360 degrees equal to 400 grades equal to 2 pi radians, where pi is, approximately 22/7 in real numbers, or sometimes will be taken as 355/113. 355/113 also equal to pi. Almost both are very, very close to each other, or sometimes will be taken as 3.1416. This pi will be taken as 3.1416 in decimal form. Therefore, dear friends, one complete rotation 360 degrees equal to 400 grades equal to 2 pi radians. Implies 180 degrees equal to 200 grades equal to pi radians is the conversion equation of angle from one system to another system. Suppose you want to convert one angle in one system to another system, you can follow this equation. 180 degrees equal to 200 grades equal to pi radians, my dear friends, will be taken as the conversion equation. But in modern days, what happens, nobody is following this grade system. It was just disappeared. So because nobody is following this grade system, gradually it has been disappeared, and then the equation from degrees to radians and radians to degrees will be taken by 180 degrees equal to pi radians, my dear friends. 180 degrees equal to pi radians. Now 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radians. This is approximately equal to 0.01745 radians. This pi by 180. 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radians, which is equal to 0.01745 radians. Whereas 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degrees, which is 57 degrees 16 minutes 44 seconds approximately, equal to 57 degrees 16 minutes and 44 seconds, my dear friends. Therefore, now diagrammatically you can see that one complete rotation is equal to 360 degrees equal to 400 grades equal to 2 pi radians. and a straight angle is equal to 180 degrees equal to 200 grades equal to pi radians. Therefore, half of that, a right angle will be equal to 90 degrees equal to 100 grades equal to pi by 2 radians, my dear friends. You can see this now. So like this, one angle will be measured either in degrees or in grades or in radians, and you can convert one angle from one system to another system. You can change, you can convert one angle into another system using any of these equations, dear friends, but the convenient one will be taken like this: 180 degrees equal to 200 grades equal to pi radians. Therefore, dear friends, 30 degrees can be taken as pi by 6 because pi is 180 degrees. 180 by 6 is 30 degrees. 60 degrees can be taken as pi by 3 because pi is 180 by 3 is 60 degrees. And 45 degrees equal to pi by 4. Yeah, 180 by 4 is 45. 120 degrees, 2 pi by 3. Pi by 3 is 60. So 2 pi by 3 will be 120. Double of is 60 now. Therefore, like this 150 degrees. 150 is 5 30s, where 30 is pi by 6. Okay. Otherwise, you can take pi by 6 here. Pi by 6, 30 degrees into 5, 150 degrees. 135 degrees is 3 pi by 4. So like this, you can convert any angle from degrees to radians or from radians to degrees, my dear friends. Okay. And here, the angle measured in counterclockwise direction in this way. This is called counterclockwise, which is anti-clockwise direction. The angle measured in this direction will be taken to be positive, whereas the angle measured in clockwise direction, dear friends, in this way. You can see the picture here. From initial ray to terminal ray, rotation is in clockwise direction, will be taken to be negative, my dear friends. This is one important point to note down. When the angle measured in counterclockwise direction will be taken to be positive. When the angle measured in clockwise direction will be taken to be negative, my dear friends. And here, so this point O is called vertex of the tank. So O is called vertex of the angle, my dear friends. Got it now? Now here, if the angle is taken, in the Cartesian coordinate system, angle is taken in the Cartesian coordinate system in such a way that, the initial ray is along the positive x-axis, being the end point at the origin here. End of that means beginning of this initial ray at the origin. So the ray has been rotated in this manner. So that angle is said to be in standard position, my dear friends. If the angle is taken in the Cartesian coordinate system with the vertex at the origin and the initial ray along the positive x-axis, then the angle is said to be in the standard position, my dear friends. Here, O is called the vertex of the angle. Angle in the standard position is defined like this. What is that? Initial, that means end point of the ray is at the origin. Initial ray along the positive x-axis. Now this is the terminal ray. So this particular position of the angle is called standard position, is said to be in the standard position, my dear friends. So in this way, suppose if the terminal ray gets in first quadrant, then the angle is said to be in first quadrant. If the terminal ray lies in first quadrant, the angle is said to be in first quadrant. If the terminal ray lies in second quadrant, The angle is said to be in second quadrant, my dear friends. Like this, according to the terminal ray where it lies, the angle is said to be in so and so quadrant. If it lies in third quadrant, terminal ray lies in third quadrant, then angle is said to be in third quadrant. Yes, it can be measured in both the ways, either in anti-clockwise direction to be positive or in clockwise direction to be negative. In both the ways you can measure the rotation, but normally, so the angle will be measured in counterclockwise direction. In counterclockwise direction, unless and otherwise it is required, we will go for counterclockwise direction. Okay. Now, dear friends, and the angles along the coordinate axis, according to this definition, when there is no rotation takes place, that means the initial ray kept quiet, the angle will be taken to be 0, because without any rotation, the initial ray itself will be taken as 0 degrees, otherwise 0 radians. When the terminal ray gets along the positive y-axis in this direction, so clearly it will be one right angle which is equal to either 90 degrees or pi by 2 radians. Otherwise, when the terminal ray gets along the negative x-axis, now clearly it is looking like a straight angle which is equal to 180 degrees or pi radians, dear friends. And then rotating one more right angle, that means in the direction of terminal ray gets along the negative direction of y-axis, then the angle is said to be either 270 degrees or 3 pi by 2 radians. Of course, it can be also measured in clockwise direction. You can see this diagram. Here, this is the diagram for counterclockwise measurement, means positive measurement. Here you can see the same rotation in clockwise measurement. So, this negative direction of y-axis will be taken as minus 90 degrees or minus pi by 2. Negative x-axis will be taken as minus 180 or minus pi. Now, positive y-axis will be taken as minus 270 or minus 3 pi by 2. So, completing one rotation in clockwise direction will be taken to be minus 360 degrees or minus 2 pi, my dear friends. Minus 360 degrees or minus 2 pi. Here, completing one rotation from in counterclockwise direction will be taken to be 360 degrees or 2 pi radians. So, this is the measurement in counterclockwise direction, and this is the measurement of angle in clockwise direction. So, in clockwise direction, angle will be measured negatively, whereas in counterclockwise will be measured in positive. So, you can see both the measurements in one complete rotation, my dear friends. Angles along the coordinate axis here. Along positive x-axis, it is 90 degrees or pi by 2. Negative x-axis, 180 degrees or pi. Negative y-axis, 270 degrees or 3 pi by 2. And one complete rotation, again getting the original position, which is positive x-axis, will be taken to be 360 degrees or 2 pi radians, my dear friends. Now you see, sometimes when the terminal ray gets in the middle of the first quadrant, will be 45 degrees or pi by 4 radians. This is the terminal ray along the midway of first quadrant. Terminal ray along the midway of first quadrant is 45 degrees. Terminal ray along the midway of second quadrant is 135 degrees or 3 pi by 4 radians. Terminal ray along the midway of third quadrant is 5 pi by 4 or 225 radians. Sorry, 5 pi by 4 radians or 225 degrees. So, like this, along the midway of third quadrant, it is 5 pi by 4 radians or 225 degrees. And in the middle of fourth quadrant, terminal ray along the midway of fourth quadrant, 315 degrees, otherwise 7 pi by 4 radians. So in counterclockwise direction, you can measure the angles along the midways of quadrants. In the middle of first quadrant, pi by 4. In the middle of second quadrant, 3 pi by 4. In the middle of third quadrant, 5 pi by 4. In the middle of fourth quadrant, it is 7 pi by 4, which are odd multiples of pi by 4, my dear friends. Any odd multiple. Of course, not only one complete rotation. You can go on rotating till you reach your goal, till you reach your angle. Not only for one complete rotation, and after that it will be more than 360 degrees. You can complete one more rotation, getting 720 degrees. You can complete one more rotation, getting 1080 degrees. You can complete one more rotation, getting 1440 degrees. So like this, you can complete any number of rotations either in counterclockwise direction or in clockwise direction also. Now this is the diagram for clockwise rotation and angles along the midways of quadrants. Along the midway of fourth quadrant in clockwise direction, it is minus pi by 4 or minus 45. Along the midway of this is third quadrant in clockwise direction, it is minus 135 degrees or minus 3 pi by 4, you can see. In clockwise direction, along the midway of second quadrant, it is minus 5 pi by 4, because same way here, this is the first quadrant, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth in counterclockwise. But here in clockwise, you will see fourth quadrant first, then third quadrant, then second quadrant, then first quadrant. Therefore, here it is minus pi by 4, minus 3 pi by 4, minus 5 pi by 4, minus 7 pi by 4 in clockwise direction. In degrees, it will be minus 45, minus 135, minus 225, and minus 315 degrees in the clockwise rotation of one ray. So that angle will be taken to be negative, my dear friends. Now, how the trigonometric ratios will be defined will be discussed in the next class. So please, students, I am going to give you a very, very valuable information, valuable content on this particular chapter, trigonometry. So even definitions and other properties of this trigonometric ratios and identities will be explained in a well-defined manner. So dear friends, please share this video and help the students like you. So I hope you are doing well and you can do all this on my request. And dear friends, let us go for the definitions of trigonometric ratios very clearly in the next class. Till then, have a nice time. Thank you.